Firearms are not toys. This is something we've said many times on this channel, but it's still ignored by thousands of people every day, whether it's for showing off or for an excess of confidence. These instruments, capable of ending human life within seconds, must be always handled with the greatest respect. Loaded or not, a joke or mistake could be enough to turn your shooting day into a tragedy. This information should be common sense or survival instinct. But do you know what are the biggest and worst mistakes people make when handling a firearm? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the US Marines Force. Today we'll talk about the 10 worst mistakes you can make with a firearm. Number 10, being afraid of the gun. It might sound simple, but being afraid while using a gun is the base for many mistakes that lead to unpleasant situations. This results in a wrong, unsafe, or nervous handling of the instrument, making the shooter point to an undesired direction, drop the gun to the floor, or accidentally shoot. These powerful machinery pieces must always be respected but never feared. That's the only way to achieve the confidence and practice required to become a responsible and experienced shooter. But don't get me wrong, the excess of confidence is as dangerous or even more dangerous than fear. Number 9, wrong shooting position. As you may already know, the cartridge deflagration of a firearm and the following expelling of the gases from the barrel generate a step back or kick towards the shooter's body, which should counteract it through technique and some strength. So if you don't have one of those or both, the gun might end up hitting you in the face if you aren't careful. For example, in the case of a rifle with a telescopic sight, it's very common for a person with no experience to not properly place the butt on their shoulder, put their eyes too close to the sight, or don't have the muscle strength in the shoulder area required to prevent the gun from moving backward too much.
Hit! These scopes nowadays.
If we're talking about large caliber pistols, the same happens if you bend your elbows or if you don't have enough strength in your arms and wrists. Number 8, shooting a gun you can't control. Everybody likes automatic fire guns. Even though they don't have any real purpose for competitive shooting, hunting, or any other activity a civilian can do, shooting them is one of the most exciting experiences in the world. However, it's necessary to know how to control them because the step back accumulated after many shots in a fraction of a second tends to be overwhelming for a beginner, especially if it's a gun without a butt, such as machine guns and smaller rifles. I repeat, this isn't a game. If you fire a Uzi without a butt and you do not have any experience, it can easily get out of your control. Lift up and pivot on your elbows, pointing above or behind you. All of this in less than 1 second, resulting in shooting without control everywhere. Number 7, shooting rigid objects near you.
Oh, that was so center.
Whether it's for curiosity, ignorance, or mistake, many people find it easy to shoot metal plates, concrete blocks, or other solid materials that are a few meters away without thinking that the nucleus and the ammunition jacket of the firearm break into thousands of little pieces when hitting against an object. This is extremely dangerous. Becoming the target of all of that shrapnel means that they will hit your body. For example, Matt Carricker from the channel Demolition Ranch at some point shot multiple rifles inside his house against a metal plate, a video I can't show here because of the unsafety of the acts displayed. Even Matt realized that it had been a terrible idea when he received small shrapnel impacts coming back to hit him when he shot. Number 6, using ammunition with higher pressure than what your gun can handle. A very common mistake is to think that smaller dimension cartridges generate the same amount of pressure inside a gun. Or to put it in a simple way, to believe that just because ammunition fits inside your rifle, pistol, or shotgun, then shooting must be safe. These type of thoughts are completely wrong. For example, a Sport Cartridge 223 Remington operates at less power and therefore less pressure than a seemingly identical 5.56 for 45mm OTAN, military grade. Therefore, if you have an R-15 designed to fire caliber ammunition 223, but it's loaded with cartridge 5.56, it won't be long before the rifle explodes in your hands when firing, producing several injuries to you or the people around you. Number 5, assuming a gun is unloaded. Any firearm should be handled at all times as if loaded. You never know if the last person who touched it, even though it was you, made sure it was unloaded. As we said before, an excess of confidence or a lack of experience in handling these elements can lead you to the grave. If you load a rifle, pistol, or shotgun with a cartridge, you actuate the bolt or you cut the cartridge and then remove the magazine, your gun is still ready to fire because there's ammunition inside the chamber, even though you can't see it. Many people think because the magazine was removed, the gun is harmless and safe to handle. Even today, this mistake sends people to hospitals or cemeteries. Number 4, keeping your finger on the trigger. There's a reason why every shooter with a minimum of experience will always keep the trigger of the gun completely clear until the moment of firing by placing their fingers on the side of the trigger. This is because any involuntary movement, step, or fall could cause an accidental fire, resulting in serious injuries or the death of the shooter or somebody else. If you watched the movie World War Z, you probably remember that horrible scene where a scientist with no experience with firearms kills himself after slipping on the ramp of an airplane, falling into his hands, and involuntarily firing the gun because he had his fingers on the trigger. Number 3, obstructing the barrel of a gun. Whether it's accidental or on purpose, obstructing the barrel of a gun, pistol, or shotgun is one of the most dangerous things you can do. This vital component is the only escape way gases have after the firing of a gun. If your barrel is full of mud, or the ammunition is stuck from a previous shot, if you place it underwater while the rest of the gun is outside of the water, or if it in any other way you place a plug inside of it, the gases produced by the cartridge will find a way to escape, and if they can't beat the resistance of the obstruction of the barrel, they'll escape through the weakest part of the gun, which is usually the top receiver in an AR-15 fuse, the slide in the gun, the barrel on a shotgun, or the chamber in certain rifles, such as the Surgu NR-50 rifle.
Oh, what was that? The bird flew.
Number 2, looking into the barrel. There's not much to say about this. A picture is worth 1,000 words. If you are one of those people who can't find the problem and you point the barrel of a firearm at your body, especially to your face, I ask you to please never go near one of these devices. Examining the barrel of a firearm because looking for obstructions or you're cleaning it, it's an important action, but there are ways to do it safely. However, all of them require experience. For example, you can look at it from the other side, or I repeat, this involves you knowing what you are doing. Disassemble the weapon until you have a 100% safe to examine barrel. For the sake of this video, let's put it this way. Never look into the barrel of a firearm. Number 1, pointing at directions that aren't your target. I'll say it again, firearms are not toys, so they can't be used to play around or act irresponsibly. Never point at anything unless you intend on shooting it. This includes the joke of pointing at somebody to scare them. The mistake of suddenly pointing at your partners in the shooting field when you've finished firing, or the irresponsibility of shooting the sky like an idiot for any reason, accident, lack of experience, nervousness, or on purpose is the greatest mistake, and it could be fatal. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy my channel, don't forget to subscribe and like the videos. See you next time.